Hey guys, welcome to episode number 59 of OG Toys. I'm OG. Today we're taking a look at Marvel Legends. Marvel Legends made a huge return in the spring of 2012 with Series 1, shortly after Series 2, which just kicked butt. And we got Series 3 coming this September. Now, Marvel Legends, if you haven't heard of them, they were produced originally by Toy Biz. They produce some of the best Marvel figures our market has ever seen. They definitely turned the industry upside down with some amazing sculpts, articulation that was unheard of back then. And unfortunately, they lost the license. The license went to Hasbro, and Hasbro pretty much killed the series. They produced some definitely shoddy figures compared to what was being produced by Toy Biz. Distribution was absolutely terrible, but they did produce some actual really nice figures, which unfortunately just never made their way to Canada. Or if they did, they were so overpriced at comic shops, it was ridiculous to try and complete an assortment. But they did make a beautiful Red Hulk, Union Jack, Adam Warlock, some really awesome looking figures, and a Namor figure from Fantastic Four series that impossible to find here in Canada. But we do have the new Marvel Legends, and they're pretty impressive. Some of the figures, a little, it's kind of a head scratcher why they put them in, but maybe they're going to surprise us with some very cool looking new assortments coming out this year. But we're going to take a look at Marvel Legends Series 1 in detail, go through them, and we're going to hit Series 2 in the next review. And for the third review, I'm going to take a look at all the figures combined, plus some of my old Marvel Legends figures that I do still have, and we'll just do a huge group shop and see, if they're better than the originals. So, let's start this review off with a figure that I'm not too crazy about, kind of a head scratcher why they put him in, but it's Claw. Now, Claw, right here, is a Fantastic Four villain, Black Panther villain, and it's just odd they would put this kind of a lame character into this series, but they did still a pretty decent job on him. And the figure has a heck of a lot of articulation, definite Marvel Legends style. The face sculpt is really nice, actually. Definitely a crazy looking villain. Not much paint apps, he just has the paint on his head here, the purple paint, the black detail line. Shorts here that are just painted on, nothing really is sculpted on, and he's got his sonic blaster, which doesn't move whatsoever. Now the articulation that these guys have, Marvel Legends spoiled us with some crazy articulation. This guy just has ball jointed head. He's got a pretty good range going up. That's as far as he goes down. He's got a ball jointed arm. He's got a cut at the bicep, double jointed elbows as well with a nice ratchet. He has the ab crunch right there, so you can get some more articulation, waist articulation. He has a ball jointed leg, double jointed knees, and a really good ball joint in the ankle as well. All the joints are nice and stiff. The figures aren't going to be flopping over whatsoever, so that's nice to see. But it's just an odd choice. For the first series, you want to come out with your heavy, big guns and lame character, but not too bad a figure. I probably would have passed on him if I didn't have to get the connected piece. But still, not too bad, but definitely not my favorite figure. Moving on, let's take a look at Hope Summers. Now, Hope is pivotal in the Avengers vs. X-Men series that's going on right now, and they did a fantastic job on this figure. Beautiful paint job, really nice shiny gloss green with the yellow striping through the rest of her body. Her armored gauntlets here, they definitely look beaten, worn out, and they got some tape wrapped around her. It looks really nice. Same with on her legs. They got these wraps around it, some knee pads. And this cape is just fantastic. It's beautiful wash on it. Definitely looks tattered, dirty. She's from a worn, torn universe. It'd be cool to see her come with, a Cable 2-pack would have been really nice. But hopefully we'll see Cable down the road. Now, she does come with this blaster pistol, this huge rifle, which unfortunately can't really hold very well. You can see here. Her hand just, unfortunately, does not take the gun too well. It stays in that, not too bad, but that's it, really. You can't get her to swing over because, unfortunately, the gun's too heavy, and it just pops out. So it's a little disappointing, but the gun is something I could definitely see Cable having. And if you just tuck the gun right under her shoulder, she stays in nice and tight, so it's not too bad. Really cool figure, definitely like it. Good job on this one. Now we got Ghost Rider. Now, Ghost Rider is not one of my favorite characters. This figure, when I saw it, man, it did not remind me of Ghost Rider whatsoever. But it does have an amazing face sculpt. There's really tons of detail all over this figure, really. They did a fantastic job on the sculpt. A lot of attention to detail on his gauntlets and his knee pads. Just looks awesome. Now, of course, you're wondering why is he in blue. Like, I'm not sure either, to tell you the truth. But there is a variant that has him in his original, flaming skull, where these are actually yellow, and they're just a soft rubber in his head as well. And it looks really impressive. Unfortunately, I haven't seen that one in quite some time. But very cool figure. It definitely looks more like a villain than a hero, but I guess Ghost Rider's always been like that as well. This dude does remind me of some kind of a character from Darkstalkers, that old Capcom game, fighting game. He looks really neat, though. They did a great job on him. Impressed. Now, moving on, we got Iron Man. Now, Iron Man, I'm surprised they used this version of Iron Man, considering there's so many different armors he has in the current armor in the comics. But they use this old Extremis armor. I haven't seen this armor in a heck of a long time, but it's a really nice figure. It's very anime style, not very bulky, very smooth paint lines. Pretty cool looking figure, though. They did a good job representing that look. But would have liked to have seen, something a bit more updated and current instead of this version. But still, very nice figure, tight joints, really clean paint job as well. There is a variant for this guy. He has stealth armor, which is that basic jet navy black color, and he looks actually pretty cool. Didn't bother picking it up. This one's good enough. Got another armored up Iron Man from Iron Man 2 that I just love. So this one's pretty much needed to get for little him. But still, nice figure and pretty cool to round up your Avengers with. Now, moving forward, a character that, man, I haven't seen in any kind of figure form in years. But we did get spoiled with a beautiful version of this guy from Marvel Universe. That was the first time this figure has been made in, I don't know, probably since Secret Wars, believe it or not, like back in the 80s. And that Marvel Universe figure is one of my absolute favorites in that lineup. This one, definitely no slouch. He has such great stylization. Very basic again, just like Claw, but it's the character. Awesome face sculpt. He looks totally wickedly bad. He has these constrictor tendrils coming out of his wrist. Paint job is just a dark navy. And, the orange just really stands out. He does have a bit more articulation in the back of his arms here. He can move his arms a little tighter, closer to his chest. They stick out a little more. Claw doesn't have that. And it's just an awesome figure. Only thing I would have liked to seen, these tendrils be in that clear plastic, just like the Marvel Universe figure. Or if you can see in the background here, on the packaging as well. He does have that energy whip coming out of his tendril there. He looks a lot cooler than just the silver. But it's still very nicely done, and he's one of my favorite characters that they produced out of this lineup. Really cool, very nicely done. Now we got my three favorites. We'll take a look at Cap here. This is Steve Rogers, Super Soldier. Really nice looking figure. Like, totally captures the look. Unfortunately, I don't care for the head sculpt all that much. He just looks kind of like an old man, to be honest with you. That's artwork behind you from Ed McGuinness, from the card back. That's the kind of head sculpt they should have had. Just a bit cooler, a bit nicer, more younger, modern take. This one definitely looks like some old geezer, but not too bad. What I like is the variant version, which I got here, and it has a transparent shield. Now the shield just plugs into the back via that plug-in, and it's really cool. Totally transparent, looks very nice. And you can attach that right to his arm with this little clip, and it stays in really nice and tight. What I don't like about this figure is the head sculpt, and it could use some sort of holsters for the guns. He has no holsters, so he's got nowhere else to put the guns. The guns are pretty cool though. They look great. They fit into the hand well. Great stylization. He totally looks like the Marvel counterpart for sure from the comics. He has a nice red piping all the way down. He has the straps and the boots. Looks really cool figure. Just wish a little bit better head sculpt and some holsters. This guy would have been totally kick-ass. But for now, yeah, he's definitely the best version we've seen of this character so far. Now we come to the big two. We got Thor, who's definitely my favorite out of this entire lineup. I love this character. I love the way he looks. You know, it totally captures the badass look of the character from the comic books. The new costume as well looks fantastic. You know, the Marvel Select figure of this version of Thor, he was totally hollow on the inside. He was just light as a feather. This guy has some good weight to him. He's definitely a lot taller and bigger than the average figure as well. And you just check out that battle hammer. That looks freaking awesome. Great paint job on it. The sculpting, just the detail they put on this thing is fantastic. And take a look at his cape. You know, real nice red. It just hangs over the shoulders. A lot of folds and wrinkles. Looks fantastic. Definitely a true Marvel legend. Beautiful job. Best figure out of the assortment. And now we get the Build and Connect Terrax. Now this is a character I'm not 100% familiar with. I know he's fought Fantastic Four multiple times. He's a former Herald of Galactus and a villain of the Silver Surfer as well. And he just looks so awesome. Really glad they put this figure as a Build and Connect. One of the things I really like about him, that face sculpt, you know, he totally reminds me of some Darkseid counterpart. Like, he definitely looks like Darkseid. I mean, all you'd have to do is paint some more blue to match that on his top of his scalp here, and you'd have, like, you know, a pretty decent looking Darkseid. Well, minus all this stuff, of course, but really nice figure. He's got nice tight joints. He's got this massive battle axe as well. A little disappointed in that. You know, definitely you could have painted this like a shiny back metal or something like that. That would have been very nice to see, but unfortunately you just get this plain, kind of boring axe. Could have been better though. But the figure itself, very impressive. I'm glad they finally made a Terrax figure. It looks awesome, and definitely worth getting even someone like Claw that I'm not too crazy about to build this guy. So there you go, guys. This is the Marvel Legends Return of Series 1. Very impressed. You know, these guys definitely kick a lot of butt. The packaging was fantastic as well. Did a phenomenal job capturing the essence of the Marvel characters. We're moving on to Series 2 in our next review, and we'll take a close look at those guys. And then the third review I'm going to do is a group shot of everybody. We'll do some comparisons to some of the old Marvel Legends and some other stuff Toy Biz has done, and see how they hold up to these new Marvel Legends. So thanks for watching, guys. Rate, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more reviews on the way. Take care.